In this video, we're going to take a look at using our skills from the Identities chapter and applying them to finding the factors, and in this scenario, finding out what the coefficients and the constants are in our cubic. So they're telling us that x minus 3 all squared is a factor of x cubed plus ax plus b. The first thing I would do here is that regardless of what method you use, whether it's division or the factor theorem, I'm going to square that out. And if I do square that out, I'm going to get x squared minus 6x plus 9. If you're not sure on that, go back to what squaring is. It's multiplying something by itself. So x minus 3 by x minus 3, and that you can multiply out hopefully at this stage in your maths journey. Here is our quadratic. I could divide it in at this stage, but we're working on using the skills that we picked up in Identities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if this is one of the factors, the other factor at the very least had to have an x in there. How do I know that? Well, if I want to get to x cubed from an x squared, I have to multiply it by x. I'm going to put in a plus k here. I could put in a plus c, a plus t, a plus w, a plus a, anything that isn't already used, an f, anything we wanted. I'm going to use k, and the reason I've put that in is just to cover my bases, just in case there is another number that I had to multiply in by that wasn't accounted for in the x. It might work out to be 0, and that's okay. That tells us that the k wasn't necessary, but if we don't put it in, we won't ever know whether or not it was needed. So it's good practice to put in the x plus a constant. Usually we use the letter k. I know that a factor means that it divides evenly into it, or it is one of two multiples. So I'm going to multiply those two, and when I do, I know that my answer is going to be x cubed plus ax plus b. Now when I write that out, that kind of jumps a step. That jumps past our x squared. And I want to say that there is no x squared there. So I'm going to put in 0x squared plus ax plus b. And what I do now is I'm going to multiply that out. There's lots of different ways that we can multiply this out. You can use the rainbow method, you can do it in your head if you're comfortable with it, or you can use the array model. And that's my preference. I just like to use it to organize my thinking when I multiply things. It helps me to keep track of stuff and helps me to make sure I'm not making any serious errors or forgetting anything. So on the top, I'm going to put x plus k. And it doesn't matter what order it goes in, it's just a way of organising the multiplication. So long as you've one bracket spread out along the top and one spread out along the side, and you've given each term in the expression its own column or row, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure that you've kept the x plus k in a row or column together, and the same thing then for our x squared minus 6x plus 9. If we do that then, how we're going to figure it out is we do the down by the across in each box. So if I do the down by the across here, I'm going to get x cubed. In here, the down by the across, kx squared. Down by the across, minus 6x squared. Down by the across, minus 6kx. Down by the across, plus 9x. Down by the across, plus 9k. And if I tidy that out then, writing it in order of the highest polynomial first, I'm going to have x cubed plus kx squared minus 6x squared minus 6kx plus 9x plus 9k. Once I have that multiplied out, I'm going to be able to then write it out and let it equal to our question, what they asked us. So minus 6x squared minus 6kx plus 9x plus 9 k is equal to x cubed, and remember we put in 0x squared just to cover the bases, plus ax plus b. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify what I have and what I can match up together. So x cubed equal x cubed, that's a true statement and we're okay to use that. Kx squared and 0x squared, those are going to match up, and the minus 6x squared. So I know that kx squared minus 6x squared is going to be the equivalent of 0x squared on this side. I'm also going to have minus 6kx plus 9x is equal to ax, and also going to have, let's see, 9k and b. So I'm going to write out each of those as little equations underneath them. So I can actually say now that I have x cubed is equal to x cubed. And this is often a good check to see if I have got the factors right. Sometimes there might be a coefficient in front of the x cubed, and then you'd have to go back if this is incorrect and introduce a coefficient. So you might have to multiply by 2x plus k instead of x. But we'll see that in future questions. For now, it's perfectly fine. The next thing we said was that we'd look at the x squareds. Kx squared minus 6x squared is equal to 0x squared. I have a common factor of x squared the whole way across. I can divide everything through by x squared and I'll get k minus 6 is equal to 0. So from there I can see immediately that k is equal to 6. The next thing I've got then is I've got minus 6kx plus 9x is equal to ax. And then I'm going to be able to take out the common factor. I've got minus 6k plus 9 is equal to a. I know what k is. We've found out what k is. K is equal to 6. So I'm actually going to take out that k and I'm going to go minus 6 multiplied by 6 plus 9 is equal to 0. Or equal to a, apologies, equal to a. I can tidy that up. I can multiply that out and I'm going to get minus 6 by 6 is 36 plus 9 is equal to a. Therefore, a is equal to 36 plus 9, which is 44. So there's one of the first things they wanted us to figure out. I figured out k. We weren't asked to find k, but that was what we felt we might be missing. We said, okay, let's put in x because we know it has to go from a squared to a cubed, and then let's put in a plus k just in case there was another part to that factor, another term in that expression. And there was, and it was 6, and we figured it out pretty quickly there. The last bit then is going to be 9k, and that's equal to b. So if we do that out, I actually know what our k is, so we can write that in. Our k was equal to 6. Multiplying that out then, we get 54 is equal to b. And there we figured out what our factor was, our other factor. Our other factor we said was x plus k. We now know what k is, it's x plus 6. And we also know what our coefficient and our constant were. So we've got 44 is equal to a and b is equal to 54.